Hi guys, welcome to the channel, and we will be starting the first of many videos where we look at something called the cycle of development. It's been very useful for me as a educator in special educational need and as a father really. So we start off by saying it was created by a lady called Pam Levin, and what drew me to this was normally we would look at development in a very linear way. We're born. Some stuff happens to us. We may go to school. We may get a job, marriage, and stuff in between, old age, and then ultimately death. All moving towards one thing. Whereas the cycle really looks at life as a cycle. That we are in one big transition, and in that transition, there are loads of opportunities for growth, and there are loads of opportunities for change. Three key things that I want to zero on about this cycle is it's highly optimistic. There's a phrase of "you never stop growing up," and "I'm okay and you're okay," which we will talk about in many more videos. So yeah, if we start off by talking about the first stage, which is the being stage. This is from about 0 to 6 months, and again, this is the stage where babies are crying, sleeping, and there's a very big need to have their needs met, to feel valued and have loads of cuddles and really to belong. After this stage, from about 6 to 18 months, we go into something called the doing stage. And this is a time where the child is just after touch, sight, taste, anything that can really stimulate their mind. They are seeking that stimuli. They are learning what is safe and what not is safe. Ouch, this is hot. Oh, this is cold. And they really learn to explore the world and the environment that they live in. And then after the doing stage, from about 18 months to 3 years old, we go into something that is called the thinking stage. Other people call it the terrible twos, but we will learn soon that it's not so terrible. And again, this is characterized by a time of where the child really begins to formulate their own views and their own dislikes. I like this. You want me to like that, but I really like this and I'm going to stick to it. They begin to test boundaries. There's a lot of problem solving, and they begin to separate themselves from their caregiver. They begin to see themselves as separate people with their own values and desires. And then after 3 years, we go from about 3 years to 6 years old. And this is the time where our kids are dressing up as superheroes, as fairies, as doctors. And this is characterized by identity. This is really a big time where a lot of growth happens. And there's three main things that I want to touch upon are: who am I? Who do I want to be? And who am I allowed to be? These are the questions that often arise in this time of life. And then from around 6 to 12 years old, we get into the stage which is called skills and structure. And again, this is the time where we really begin to look at who we want to be, who we believe we're going to be, and we really start to pick up the skills that we need to be able to live that out. We also begin to test ourselves out on the rest of the world and really take that feedback and start understanding, how do we operate in this world? And last but not least, we begin to learn about social skills and a lot about fairness. I'm friends with Rachel, but I don't like Jesse. But Rachel's friends with Jesse. Can I still be friends with Rachel? It sounds very trivial, but this is the time where the young mind really begins to learn those key social skills. And then last but not least, from about 12 to 18 years, we go into the stage which is called integration. And again, what is special about this stage is the child goes through each and every part of the cycle of development. So again, that's the being, that's doing, that's thinking, that's identity, that's skills and structure, at twice the speed. Many of you that may have teenagers notice that in this time, teenagers really, they may start having mini identity crisis. A lot of them start whining more. I mean, and this is really comes apparent in this time. And there's two main stimuli which I want to touch on, which is sex and social standing, that really shapes how the young person travels through the cycle. In each part of the cycle, there are developmental tasks, jobs for the child, which they need to complete in order to move on to the next part. The tasks are really good indicators of wholeness and well-being. Us as people, as parents, as educators, have to be mindful of two things. Affirmations, which help give permission for children to grow and to complete those developmental tasks. But there is also injunctions, which really stop them from growing and completing those developmental tasks. And these two main things are what we will be diving into in our next video. So please.